Hey everybody, RazorMouth, glad to be with you. I hope you're doing well. Got a bunch of things we want to cover today, so I'm just going to flip through some of the stuff you might already be aware of, but if you haven't, I think it's newsworthy, something that you should keep yourself abreast. RealClear Politics. You know, we all know that the media doesn't decide who is the president. The media doesn't have the power to call the election, but they have. And they've called it for Joe Biden. But interestingly enough, this morning, RealClear Politics, you see it right here, and this is a live updated website. I think it updates almost every 5 minutes. As of earlier this morning, RealClear Politics has, well, declared it official. Joe Biden is not president-elect. In fact, there is no president other than President Donald Trump, but certainly no projected winner. As you can see, the total here is 259 electoral votes. And that's because RealClear Politics took this little state here, the state of Pennsylvania, you see that right there, off of the map for Joe Biden. So there you have it, people. It's official. Joe Biden is not president-elect. I wonder if Fox News and if CNN and all these other lamestream, oh, there you see it, just updated again, just right in front of our very eyes. And look, nothing has changed. Biden is not president-elect. So take it for what it's worth. Not that we put our hope and trust in the media, because, friends, nothing is going to change here until the actual votes get certified in all of these individual states. And given what's taking place right now with the Trump team pursuing many legal avenues, lawsuits against the voter fraud and theft, it's going to be a while until any one of these individual states can actually certify the votes. And of course, then it's up to the Electoral College, which doesn't meet until December 6th, I believe. Maybe it's December 12th. Somebody can correct me on that. Not until that point do we know for sure who is president-elect. So there you have it. I wonder if Fox News is going to correct their scenario. Don't hold your breath, my friends. Moving on, we have a very interesting development. Trump, as you know, President Donald J. Trump has retained the legal counsel of Jones Day LLP. This is a fairly large law firm, and they have offices throughout the United States. And they have a significant law office in Washington, D.C. But the legal counsel for Trump in this regard has proven to be, well, a lawyer that can't be trusted. Follow with me here. I'm just going to read this headline. Trump campaign lawyers worry about pushing lawsuits that could undermine election. Now, I thought there was such a thing as called the attorney-client privilege, which means that the things that pertain to the client and their interests in a claim against a individual, like in this case, Joe Biden, remains internal, and that the lawyer is sworn to secrecy. So what business do these lawyers have about projecting their own personal feelings about what they are doing? But as we will read here, this is from The Hill. President Trump's legal battles being waged in battleground states are leaving some attorneys at law firms representing his campaign worried that they are helping to undermine the integrity of American elections, according to a report by the New York Times. Right here, people. Oh, let me just highlight that for you. There you have it again, the New York Times in the center of the fray. And here we have another example of turncoat Republicans, establishment Republicans, D.C. swamp creatures. Why on earth President Trump has retained these individuals? I would hope, if Trump has any desire to fight this battle, that he get rid of their sorry ass and find some lawyers who are going to have some integrity and not be used as willing lackeys like we've seen so many other Republicans recently in the news media. Willing lackeys getting in front of the news media and spouting off stupidity. These lawyers are worried about Trump undermining the integrity of the elections. Isn't it interesting that it's always Trump and the Trump campaign and the Trump team and those of us who support President Trump that are always cascaded as the people who are undermining, when in very fact, it's the fact that we've seen evidence and allegations, serious allegations of voter fraud, voter theft, irregularities that should be the issue and the concern of any true patriot. But here we have it. Let me just read a little bit further. The newspaper interviewed several lawyers at Jones Day and Porter, Wright, Morris, Arthur law firms representing Trump's campaign. According to the report, lawyers from the latter law firm have held meetings to voice their discomfort with what they are being asked to do. Well, you know, not that the president is listening to me, but if perchance he comes across this, I just say, sir, would you please get rid of these good-for-nothing swamp creatures? You don't need them. We don't need them. If they're too busy worried about their own career and reputation, fire their sorry ass and get yourself somebody like a Sidney Powell that's prepared to fight for the soul of America. That's all I can say. If you're interested in reading more, go ahead. Now on to the next piece here. People have been asking, where is AG Barr? Well, finally, he has come out of the cauldrons and he's stepped to the plate and he's taking a swing at bat. Here we read in the New York Post, AG Barr authorizes DOJ probe of allegations of voting irregularities in the 2002 election. So to all of you swamp creatures and Republicans that are part of the swamp who are wringing your hands and oh, so worried about how this looks, well, obviously there's enough evidence as far as AG Barr is concerned to warrant an investigation, which is all that we've been asking for at this point. Is it not? Let me just read this to you. Attorney General Bill Barr authorized federal prosecutors to investigate allegations of voting irregularities in the 2020 election on Monday, despite, now notice this line, despite little evidence of voting fraud in the contest. Now, it's always interesting that the media has to put in these kinds of words. Notice they're not contesting that there is no evidence. In their words, it's just little evidence. Well, the question is, what is little? Or for instance, this fact that in the PA, suddenly on the night of, or in the early morning hours of November the 4th, when they had closed the polls, that out of nowhere, suddenly hundreds of thousands of mail-in ballots suddenly appeared, all in favor of Joe Biden. Is that what they would consider little evidence? I don't know. But I said this a while back on my post that in the next couple of weeks, the media is going to lie more than it ever has lied in the last 4 years. And here's just an little example, an illustration of the lying. All depending on what you mean by the word little, I guess. Is what happened in PA little? Is the voting irregularities and voting mistakes of all these machines in Michigan and Wisconsin and in Georgia and Nevada? Is that little? The fact that they've uncovered thousands of dead people voting in this election, is that considered little? I mean, we can go on and on and on. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested to follow all of the voter fraud issues going on, there's a great little site. I'm going to leave the link in my in both on the Facebook post and on YouTube, but I will leave the link to this. And you could just follow here at this website, and it's updated regularly with all of the latest information on voter irregularity, voter fraud, and election theft, the hands of the Democrats and Joe Biden. I know Donald Trump refers to him as Sleepy Joe. I think a far better description of Joe Biden is Beijing Joe.